by night. Keep going crazy.
Hello, guys. It is Lexus Exodus, leader of the Black Women Exodus. How are you all doing? Like always, if you enjoy this content, please like and subscribe. Please share. Also, please say what's up in the chat. Say hey in the comment section. Let me know that you're listening. Also, if you have any suggestions or any tips or any ideas for new stories, please feel free to share those with me. I love to hear from you guys. My Gmail is lexusexoduschannel@gmail.com. Additionally, if just because we know the Nakers be nakering and the trolls be trolling, please, if you have a moment, take a second and follow the backup page. That's called LexX. That's LEXEX, and I will also link it in the description below. So here's another installment of my daily series called the Blackistan Zoo, where we profile the animals, characters, creatures, and dusty derelicts found in Blackistan. So let's go. So today we're going to talk about the deadbeat, y'all. So the deadbeat has to be the most prominent person in Blackistan, because this is your typical Tyrone. So he is a naker who loves to have unprotected sex. He loves laying it low and spreading it wide, like Mama Braxton from the Braxtons used to say. He loves the act of conceiving and creating children. And it's crazy because he's not a child. He doesn't think that children come from storks. You know, he's not crazy. He understands that sex creates children. But then he turns around and acts surprised when he actually does impregnate women and creates children and brings them into this world. So your deadbeat is very illogical. He's very dusty. He's typically unemployed. He's broke. He's irresponsible. So he abandons the children that he creates and then forces the mother to struggle to take care of them on her own. So notable deadbeat, when we think of deadbeats, we think of Future, also Fetty Wap, and a lot of these rappers who have so many illegitimate children. It's hard to keep track nowadays. Also, I think an honorable mention is Nick Cannon, who has recently had twins. So that would be the 7th child that he has had with 5 different women. And I know you guys are thinking he's rich, he takes care of his kids, but I don't care how rich he is. He's made 5 different women single mothers, and there's no way. It's not possible to be able to properly father 7 different children when they all live in 5 different households other than your own. Okay, so anyway, I want to open up this installment with a brief video clip from a movie called Idiocracy. And this movie is very old. I'll be aging myself with these movie references. I think this is from probably the early 2000s. But I swear to you all, this movie describes Blackistan and really nails it on the head, describes it to a T. And it describes how Tyrone and how his discretions has led the Black community to the poor state that it's at in the first place. So let's first watch this and then we will chat.
Does not necessarily reward intelligence. With no natural predators to thin the herd, it began to simply reward those who reproduced the most and left the intelligent to become an endangered species.
Having kids is such an important decision.
We're just waiting for the right time. It's not something you want to rush into, obviously.
No way.
Oh, shit, I'm pregnant again!
I got too many damn kids. Thought you was on the pill or some shit.
Hell no!
Must have been thinking of Brittany.
Brittany? No, you can't. There's no way we could have a child now. Not with the market the way it is, no.
That just wouldn't make any sense.
He don't care about you.
Yeah, well, there must be something he likes over here.
What you got to me, baby? It wasn't me.
Well, we finally decided to have children, and I'm not pointing fingers, but it's not going well.
And this is helping.
I'm just saying that before I have in vitro, maybe you should be willing to...
It's always me, right?
No. It's not my sperm count.
Yeah! I'm gonna fuck all of you! That's my boy!
Cleavon is lucky to be alive. He attempted to jump a jet ski from a lake into a swimming pool and impaled his crotch on an iron gate. But thanks to recent advances in stem cell research and the fine work of Doctors Krinsky and Altschuler, Cleavon should regain full reproductive function.
Put your hands off my junk.
Unfortunately, Trevor passed away from a heart attack while masturbating to produce sperm for artificial insemination. But I have some eggs frozen, so just as soon as the right guy comes along.
And so it went for generations, although few, if any, seemed to notice.
So we'll pause there. So tell me that ain't Blackistan, y'all. Tell me that doesn't describe Blackistan to a T. So what we just watched is two very different couples. So one educated couple, they're well off, they're married, they're very settled, they're very financially sound, they're good, they're intelligent, they are extremely well off. So they're planning to have children and they're holding off on that though, because they understand the importance of waiting until circumstances are right. And to the point where eventually the husband just dies off because they waited so long, because they understood how important it is to be responsible and to be mature and to be very deliberate about childbearing and child rearing and bringing children into this world. Then on the other end of the spectrum, we have the other couple, and the man is poor, he's impoverished, he's unstable, he's a degenerate, he's living in a trailer park, unintelligent, and he's just having children, popping them out with reckless abandon. So we saw him not only having sex with the girlfriend, he's having sex with the neighbor. His degenerate ass is having sex with anyone in a skirt. And then his son also copies and repeats that dysfunctional cycle and does the same, to the point where the world just gets overpopulated and overran with these little ignorant, idiotic, inbred fucks. And these are our kids that he's conceived who don't have two brain cells to run together because we know it's all genetic. And so the world just turns into crazy town, to Looney Tune town. Tell me that ain't Blackistan, y'all. Tell me that does not describe Blackistan to a T. Tell me that ain't Tyrone. So it's like, it likens me to think about divested women and the rest of the world who are taking their time to have kids, making sure that everything is right, making sure they have their educations, their careers. Meanwhile, Tyrone's stupid ass is just procreating with reckless abandon, inundating the world with his little bastard children. That's Blackistan. And so that is a really cool movie. Like I said, it's a little old. I think it's from like the early 2010s, but I really love that movie. And I watched that as a kid. And even then that resonated with me because it really stuck out and it really epitomized why the Black community was in the state that it was in. So I thought that clip set the tone to this installment of the Blackistan Zoo series because it really highlights these Tyrone's toxicity. But let's keep going and look at a few deadbeats and really analyze their behavior. So this first picture I want to show you. First, I want to give a shout out to YH who sent this to me. I won't say her name because I don't want to dox you, girl, but thank you so much for sending that to me. You know who you are. So look at this. So the caption, it says, I finally graduated from child support today. Hang in there, my brothers. It'll be over soon. I graduated magna cum laude is what he wrote. And then we see this Nick Nog with a graduation robe with a cap and gown and some type of degree celebrating the fact that he is done paying child support. Do y'all see this, y'all? So these dusties have no shame. These deadbeats have no shame. And this reminds me, I remember being in therapy years ago when I was very young and talking about the relationship I had with my father. And I remember telling the lady, he was a very great provider, but we weren't really close. And that he never really showed any emotion or any affection. And her response to me, and I'll never forget, is she said that men tend to demonstrate their love and that their love language is demonstrated through acts of service and that they like to provide for the people in their lives that they care about. And she said that's just an innate masculinity trait. That's an innate trait of masculinity. And Blackistan is the exact opposite, though. It's so dysfunctional that these fools take pride in not taking care of their children. So much so that we see them, like this knicker here, having a graduation ceremony to celebrate the fact that he's no longer being forced to be financially responsible for the children that he created. You see how backwards this is. And this man probably hasn't even walked across the stage to get a GD, but he got his nerve to throw a commencement ceremony to celebrate the end of his child support payments. And this is what I mean. If people think this stuff is funny and they like to normalize and celebrate this type of thing, but that's why these Tyrones feel comfortable doing this mess. Okay, let's keep going. So I also wanted to look at this video clip of this mud shark, this snow roach, and her deadbeat dad. So let's see. I think this is it. Yeah, let's make this a little bit larger.
Rest in peace to my baby's father.
Still, I miss you anyway. Yeah.
He's not dead, just a deadbeat. We left when she was 2 months, and 9 months later, it's still me and her. I wouldn't want it any other way.
So let's watch that again, just in case you missed it. Okay.
Rest in peace to my baby's father.
Still, I miss you anyway. Yeah.
He's not dead, just a deadbeat. We left when she was 2 months, and 9 months later, it's still me and her. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Okay. So y'all, what the F? And when I came across this clip, I was feeling bad for the girl, for Becky, thinking that, her child's father was really dead. And then she dropped the mic and said that the nigger is alive. He just a deadbeat. He ain't dead. He just a deadbeat. Poor girl. And I read a statistic that said out of all groups of kids being put in foster care, that biracial children have increased the most over the past 5 years. We also know that Becky's are becoming the new face of single mothers. And it's like, you can thank Tyrone for that. You can thank Tyrone for creating these illegitimate, unwanted children and abandoning the mothers instead of staying and raising and taking care of the responsibilities that he created. All right, let's look at this next example of your deadbeat, and then we will unpack. So this is a quick video. So let's see.
1-800 if you need a lick, you know who to call. I feel like SpongeBob hit him in the leg.
Okay, and this Nignog is actually in front of the tweet, so I'm just going to pause it there so we can read it. So on the left side, we see this guy named Sosa Keith who tweeted, "Get her pregnant, then die, #RealDeadbeat." And then on the right side, we see that he actually did die shortly after. So this is a mess, y'all. This is a mess. These makers are a trip. And it's like, just like, I've heard stories of them, they rather quit their job than pay child support. A lot of them are so sick and twisted. I'm really convinced that they rather die than take care of their kids. And literally that happened in this situation. Okay, so here's another one of a nurse who is talking about the deadbeat that she encountered. And I think this was why a mother was giving birth and she was taking care of the mother. So let's watch this.
Hi, Mr. Johnson. I'm Tiffany. I'm going to be taking care of your wife for the rest of the evening. As you can see, she is sleeping. I just gave her morphine. She had a very extensive surgery, so she's going to need to rest, okay? No, she can't take care of her 3-month baby while she's resting. No, that's not safe. I'm sorry. But you guys actually scheduled this surgery, so, but you don't have anybody to take care of the baby. I am so sorry. But just know I'm going to take great care of your wife, okay? No, she's going to be here about 2 days. I'm sorry, no. We can't have babies up here. All right, you have a good day, okay? Miss Johnson, why do you have the baby? I told your husband you cannot watch the baby. You need to get better. And where did the baby come from? Because there was no stroller or no car seat when he was in here. The duffel bag.
A mess. A mess. So I misspoke. This woman hadn't just given birth. She actually just had a very extensive surgery. And the nurse talks about how she was on morphine recovering from the surgery. And she says how she gave her patient morphine, and how, you know, she told the husband, hey, you know, she can't take care of this child because she's on morphine. It's not safe. And this reminds me of my mother. She suddenly got sick and passed away of pancreatic cancer, but she was in a lot of pain, like dire pain. And she had a tumor the size of a grapefruit near her pancreas, and they gave my mother morphine. So that ain't no joke. That means this lady was in serious pain. She evidently had a serious surgery. Even then, this fool still couldn't take care of his own damn kid. So this fool had the nerve to sneak the baby in a damn duffel bag so he could drop the baby off at the hospital instead of taking care of his child himself. And here's the crazy part. I bet you if you talk to this nurse, this fool ain't even taking care of things financially so that she can focus on being the primary caregiver for their kids. I bet you what probably happens on a typical day for them is she spends her day muling, putting in double shifts and overtime and overnight shifts. And then after that gets off work just to mule some more and take care of the children on her own. See what I mean? See what I mean? This is foolish. This don't make no sense. And this is why I would encourage you guys to stay away from these types of men. This is not what you want. This is not what you want. They don't make good fathers. They don't. Even with the best intentions, it's like, let's use common sense here. How can you expect these men to be good fathers and good husbands when statistically he probably never even had that experience himself? So he's never even had a present father to know how to be a good father himself. All right. I want to look at this next clip of another deadbeat with his priorities all effed up and his friend talking about this Nog and how messed up his priorities was and how toxic and how problematic his thought process was.
Man, I lost my homeboy because he's a deadbeat father. This is what happened. This man got in the car, said, hey, yo, what up, bro? Hey, check out my new Rolex. I looked. I said, man, how much that Rolex cost, man? That's fly. He said, it costs about $8,000. Now, this is why I got mad. Bro, you ain't got a job and you been telling me to send your baby mama money. And you got an $8,000 Rolex on? This man looked me dead in my eye and said, that was on you, bro. You could have said no. I looked back at him, and all I could do was this. That was it. That was it. His head went straight through the window. That was it. He done for.
Yo. So this fool details how his homeboy, he's sending his homeboy's baby mother money. And it turns out one day he shows up with a Rolex, with an $11,000 Rolex, instead of taking care of his own damn kids. And that's a Tyrone for you. That's an acre for you. But this is what I mean when I say, you know, these Tyrones, these triggered Tyrones will come to my channel trolling. They'll talk about all these so-called good men in the community. But y'all so-called good men, good black men, don't check y'all's trifling ass friends who pump and dump and be on this BS. So as far as I'm concerned, y'all just as bad. Because y'all say nakers let that shit fly, but then want to turn around and fix your mouth to talk shit and denigrate the women who are single mothers like little bitches. Talking about you should have chosen better and shit like that. And it's like, no, Nog, you and your niggas need to be better men. That way, there ain't so many low-life deadbeat dust buckets to choose from. All right, let's look at this next story that really illustrates the deadbeat and his problematic behavior.
Now this man been in Wendy's drive-thru. Cars that went around him and everything. Hey, Sarah. Hey, baby. Hey, you been sleeping in the park? You been asleep for a minute, baby. You sleep. What's going on with no? You been asleep. 2-3 cars that went ahead of you, and that ain't safe. That baby in that car. All right.
Oh boy, let's watch that again.
Now this man been in Wendy's drive-thru. Cars that went around him and everything. Hey, Sarah. Hey, baby. Hey, you been sleeping in the park? You been asleep for a minute, baby. You sleep. What's going on with no? You been asleep. 2-3 cars that went ahead of you, and that ain't safe. That baby in that car. All right.
A mess. What the hell is going on with y'all? What the hell is going on here? So what we just watched is this fool who fell asleep in the middle of the damn road with his daughter in the car. And this woman, this random stranger, had to walk up to the car to wake him up. And the poor baby could have gotten snatched up. She could have gotten kidnapped or could have gotten killed in a car accident. Looks like it's late at night. Who knows what could have happened to her? And this fool is sound asleep in the driver's side behind the wheel. In the comments, if you look at them, they're saying, oh, he was just tired. We've all been there. And it's like, no, y'all, that's not just being tired. So I know y'all like to coddle and I know y'all like to make excuses for these grown ass men, but let's not do that here because that's not what happened. This fool looks drunk or high. He looked incoherent when she finally woke him up. And it's because he is under the influence of something. He's probably both drunk and high because there's no way you can fall asleep in the middle of the drive-thru just from being tired. This is just a loser deadbeat. All right. So this last clip I wanted to look at is an oldie but goodie. But I think that this is very fitting, and I think that this is really timely and really illustrates the problematic nature of your deadbeat. And this is something that initially appeared on Iyanla Fix My Life, her show a few years back. So let's watch this and then let's chat.
Stand up. How many children? 28. How many women? 16. Terrence?
4.
4.
Children.
With?
2 different women.
Yeah. Ryan?
Almost 5 children with 4.
Almost 5.
Yes,
now talk to me about an almost 5.
I have another baby due November 22nd.
So 4 children.
4 children.
How many mothers?
4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes.
And you got a baby on the way. Okay. And John?
6 baby mothers, 11 children.
11
This
children.
don't make
And
no
Jemani?
motherfucking sense.
I have 6 children with 4 different women.
4 different women.
Yes, ma'am.
Now here's what I want us to get. That these men collectively have 87 children, that includes Jay, with 50 different women.
This don't make no damn sense. This don't make no damn sense. 80 children with 50 different women. These men should be ashamed of themselves. But no. They're on national TV proclaiming that they have all these children. They're even snickering. If we rewind it, let me see if I can rewind it. They're giggling and shit about this shit. Like that stuff is funny. This is disgusting. Let's see. See how he got that smirk on his face? That's not funny. Proudly proclaiming how he has all these illegitimate children running around the world, wreaking havoc that he don't take care of. And here's my thing. This is just the amount of children that these men have had. What about the STDs? That's what I'm thinking about, because they're obviously having unprotected sex. And the stats show that 1 in 5 people have STDs and STIs. And for Black men, the studies show that they are 5 to 8 times more likely than other groups of men to be burning So they sit here slanging all this unprotected peen recklessly. You know they passing out STDs too, along with those children that they creating recklessly. This is just disgusting. But there you have it though. This is your dusty deadbeat. This is your deadbeat. This is your average Tyrone. And the crazy part is these dummies don't want to accept any type of culpability. They don't want to be accountable for anything. They don't want to possess any type of responsibility. And all they'll say is, make better choices. You need to make better choices. Or, watch who you sleep with. It's your fault you're a single mother. It's your fault you're single. And it's like, no. How about you wrap up your peen, Tyrone? Wrap up your dick. How about you stop sleeping with women that you don't want to have children with? Stop making these kids that you don't want to take care of. And the crazy part is that I'm on Nexplanon, which is a form of contraception that is an arm implant. And it's cool, but it makes my cramps very intense. Y'all know my husband has said over and over again that, you know what, you don't even got to deal with all that. Just let me know and I'll go get a vasectomy. Meanwhile, this man has no children. We are married, so we have that nuclear family, that firm foundation. We're homeowners. He makes the high end of six figures. I make six figures as well. And he's talking about getting things snipped because we don't want any children. But not Tyrone, though. He's on this mission to conceive and populate the world with as many bastard children as he can. And he thinks, although he isn't financially present, although he's not emotionally there, he's not physically present, he's absent in all those areas, that they will magically raise themselves and they'll be fine. And this is how dumb these nakers are. Y'all, close your legs. Close your legs. What Nene said, close your legs to married men. Close your legs to naked men. Close your legs to Tyrone. Unless you want to be a struggling single mother in the hood. Barefoot, broke, busted in the hood. Y'all. All right. That's all I got for now. Until next time. See you guys. Bye.
If y'all come across a red iPhone, can you please bring it to the sound stage? Red iPhone, appreciate it.